In a quiet village where the sky bent low and the earth never lied, a boy named Sadiq was born. His father was a farmer whose hands had forgotten softness, and his mother sewed woven baskets near the riverbank. The village had no library, only old men who carried stories in their throats and women whose lullabies taught history. Sadiq learned by listening. When the birds sang in different rhythms, he found patterns. When the river curved, he understood geometry without knowing its name. He wrote equations with a stick on the sand and erased them with his bare foot. The elders watched him with wonder and fear. He is not like our other children, they said. He thinks like the moon, an old woman whispered. But some parents drew their children away from him. Too much knowledge can pull a soul away from home, they warned. Still, Sadiq kept learning from sunlight, from silence, from the stars. The teacher who saw the flame. One dry season, a tired government teacher named Mr. Bello arrived in the village. He had taught in many towns, but he had never seen a child like Sadiq. One day he asked, "What is 5 times 7? The class murmured. Sadiq stood. 35, sir. But also the number of days between each full moon if the sky wobbles strangely. Laughter filled the room. But Mr. Bello froze. Where did you learn that? From watching the sky, the boy replied. From that day, Mr. Bello brought extra books, old exam papers, broken calculators. He taught Sadiq beyond the village syllabus, algebra, physics, ideas that were not meant for a boy who still fetched water in the morning. You do not belong only to this village, he said one evening. You belong to the world of thinking. The letter that changed the air. Sadiq applied to the university in the city. He had no computer, only forms filled by candlelight. Months passed like wandering goats. Then the letter arrived. Full scholarship, Faculty of Engineering. The village gathered around the paper as if it were sacred. Some cried with joy. Some were silent with envy. This is too big for someone from here, one man muttered. He will forget us, said another. But Sadiq's mother only held his face and cried. Remember your roots. The tree that forgets its soil falls. The city that watched him. The city did not smell like the village. It smelled of fuel, metal, urgency. At the university, students wore confidence like clothing. They spoke English as if it were air. Their bags were expensive. Their phones glowed like small suns. Sadiq had only a small suitcase, 2 books, and silence. In the lecture hall, heads turned. Village boy. Bush genius. He won't last long. But when the professor filled the board with complex equations, the room froze in confusion. Only one pen moved without fear. Sadiq's. The professor looked closely at him. You. Explain your solution. Sadiq stood. His voice was calm as a morning river. When he finished, the room was silent. Then the professor smiled. Well done, extremely well done. That was the moment jealousy took its first breath. The birth of enemies. Some students whose fathers were important men felt threatened. How can he be better than us? Who helped him cheat? He's pretending. They watched him. Whispered behind him. They hid library books. Deleted files from shared systems. They called him names. But Sadiq walked like a man carrying invisible drums. He remembered his mother's words. He remembered the soil. He refused to respond. Jealousy grew angry at his silence. During mid-semester exams, the hardest question was a puzzle no one had ever solved in that class. Students panicked. Pens trembled. Sadiq closed his eyes and remembered drawing shapes in the village sand. He solved it in 10 minutes. When results were released, his score was the highest in the faculty's history. Now jealousy was no longer whispering. It was screaming. Some students went to the administration. He must be cheating. He is using something. It is impossible for a village boy. An investigation began. They searched his room, his computer, his notebooks. They found only hard work, prayer, and silence. The university cleared his name. But his enemies' hearts grew darker. They attempted to break him. One late evening, as Sadiq returned from the library, some students blocked his way. You think you are better than us? You think the city will bow to you? Return to your village before we make you leave. Sadiq looked at them, angry boys with wounded pride. I do not wish to defeat you, he said. I only wish to learn. His calm shamed them more than anger ever could. They let him pass. But their jealousy remained like a shadow that refused to die. The light no darkness could swallow. Years passed. Sadiq became the top student in the entire university. Professors asked for his help. Researchers sought his mind. He invented a cheap water purifying system for villages like his. A low-cost irrigation model for farmers. And he never once forgot where he came from. On graduation day, his parents came for the first time to the city. When he walked across the stage, the hall stood. The same students who mocked him applauded. The same mouth that cursed him now praised him. Jealousy had lost its war. The return of the sun. Sadiq did not stay in the city. He returned to the village, but no longer as a boy. He built a small library where goats used to sleep. He installed clean water. He taught children under the same tree where he once drew on sand. The elders sat and shook their heads in awe. The village gave him soil, they said. And he returned as rain. The moral that still works. To this day, mothers in that region tell their children. A boy once left this village with nothing but his mind. And the world could not deny him. They teach that brilliance does not need a city to be born. Jealousy is loud, but wisdom is steady. A true mind bows only to truth, not to insult. And somewhere, under the stars, another child draws in the sand.